Good evening. This is Michael Everreef, and I'm at Starbucks at Pike Place Market in Seattle, Washington, United States of America, King County. Anyway, this is your friendly neighborhood minister on Social Security, and I've been cruising around all day remembering stuff that happened 30 years ago. I practically grew up here. I never left, it seems like, especially today. If I told you the whole story, you might want to sue me. So I'll tell you anyway, because I could use the money. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. When I was 8 years old, I was a school crossing guard. The only people allowed to be school crossing guards in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is the Philadelphia Police Department. Anyway, they got a badge in Seattle, and the Seattle Police Department looks just like the Philly Police badge. Since Philly was first, gee, I wonder where they got the idea. Anyway, I moved to Colorado when I was 8 with my mom and dad. The government came along and brought me to Seattle and left my mom and dad in Colorado. I rocked and rolled with the greatest of them. I was a punk rocker down in Bellstown. And in order to earn my keep, I had to be up on stage until I dropped or until I sold a song. The Dead Kennedys bought it. They brought me back a couple years later and said it sold 300,000 copies. Imagine that. Anyway, I've been coming down this market for a long time. And, as a police officer, a sheriff, a CSO, and now I'm a marshal, but I'm on disability. And the only time they would ever let me have my gun is when they had me on drugs. So I never shot anybody. It was all for picture day. Because Seattle, Washington, they own Hollywood. So you can imagine my life for now, don't you? Anyway, I've done a lot of knuckling. Part of my final exam at the Coast Guard Air Force Academy is I had to take a ship without a gun. I had to negotiate my way to the bridge and cause the admiral to concede. But I had to fight a little bit the whole way. Because them bodyguards, they don't want to leave that ship. It's like the mayor. He don't want to leave City Hall. We had to do that a time or two, too. Anyway, I worked for the news media for a while. I worked at NBC 29 in Charlottesville in the newsroom. I was the boss man, the editor. I've been on movie production crews with Guns N' Roses, Black Sabbath, Metallica. I work the camera, I work the mics, I ask the questions, and I give some answers. I was in water training for 10 years in Virginia. They didn't ask me if I wanted it. They hit me over the head and stuck me in prison. Well, I'm out in Virginia. It's 3,000 miles the other way. And I still get a Social Security check. Made some bullshit story up, and I don't want to get into it again today. It makes me want to cry. Anyway. Having fun here. It's work. It's minister work because I'm out there all the time. Well, that's a minister, ordained minister. I'm that minister. I work 24/7. The police work 8, sheriff works 8. I work all 24 of them hours in the day for about half as much as a private. He only works 8 hours a day. Pretty fucked up, huh? I'm trying to keep a good attitude. Maybe some people make some tithings to my church. Except the pastor's over there. Anyway, he's kind of a cheap son of a bitch. I'm just kidding, Sheriff. Have a heart, huh? Let's see. Anyway, water trading. What's water trading? 3 years, 7 months without a break in the state joint. Prison, that is. With all the inmates. Not the COs, the inmates. Got a couple fights. It wasn't so bad. Somebody put a cigarette on my penis when they found out I was literally the warden. Got me in my sleep, pulled my dick out and stuck a cigarette out on it. And then when he hid the whole time we were there, if he was on that dormitory, man, he sure could play a straight face. They had me on sedatives that fucking drop a horse. 800 milligrams of Seroquel. That's like 4/5 a gram. The closest thing to it is Xanax Blues. It's like 10 of them every day. It causes 50% paralysis for 15 hours. It's like transient, different parts of my body, not all in one spot. So I'm walking around in this state joint, half paralyzed. Because they didn't want me to kill anybody, want me to make it out of there no matter what. But a couple of them suckers took some cheap shots, that's for real. I ain't on that shit no more. The warden. I'm the warden, I guess. The warden. That's the orphanage manager. Then when you grow up and you don't want to grow up yet, and you don't have any money, but you don't know what to do, but you need some legal advice. Guess what your mommy and daddy did for me? I can't make any money representing you in court, but I'm supposed to give you legal advice basically for free. Competent legal advice. So why would I lie to you? You think I want to go to jail? You crazy. That's that lawyer want to charge you for legal advice. I'm not allowed to. Literally. I tell you, get away from me, though. That's legal advice. I have time to think about this right now. I'm worried about an article I read in the paper earlier this morning about a triple homicide across town, because I know some people's around here want to know what I think about it, if I had anything to do with it. Especially like if they're found choked to death or something. That's my life. It's been that way since 1992 when I became a magistrate judge without a gun. 1991, I was a magistrate. I was the Secret Service policeman aboard that ship down at the pier in Seattle. Just took it, negotiated, caused a surrender. Well, actually a change of office. They got off the ship willingly. And then once they secured the bridge, I stepped aside and let a magistrate come in because I was getting promoted to marshal. They said, if you pass this test, you're going to be a marshal. So don't worry about it. So they got a picture of me in my admiral's uniform. I won the Freedom Medal when I was in the civil court. When I went over to criminal court, I'm pretty sure I won the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I still have to think about it because I remember the president putting the Freedom Medal on my neck one time, but I'm not sure. It could have been the Congressional Medal of Honor. It was a long time ago. I fought over there. I never really was given a gun on the field of combat, just at the base. I had to walk through like foreign countries in the fucking civil war going on. I just consoled the dying and bereaved family members. When the police action, when they hired Americans, I worked that side of it. Like to tell them, we ain't all bad, your country hired it. Like we familiar relations and stuff like that, and try to explain it to them. And they cry and they want to hit you and stuff. Well, that's the way it goes, right? You probably don't want to hear about that side of life anyway. Some of you just you ain't got the heart for it. You think being a minister is a job for a pussy, huh? Say it to my face. Anyway, I worked at the King County 5, NBC too. I worked at CBS too, by the park. Used to ride around a news van. Jump out I never had a tie though. I always had just a shirt over a white t-shirt and some dress slacks. I'd jump out sometimes, all sedated, trying to keep up with them. And then it was they'd all get in position with the camera and the microphone. Then I got what the hell is going on here? It was pretty funny back in the day sometimes. Very serious, but kind of funny. Asking serious questions, and they got me on sedatives because they're afraid I might just beat somebody to death or something and ruin everything. Because they have me interview all their friends that are getting busted by the police. They're finding out that the newsman really is a police officer for the first time in their life. And back in them days, people didn't know it. These days, people know it. Back then, Seattle had 3 million people living here. How many has got living here now on a regular basis? Not many. Something like that. Kind of a trip coming back to see everything is rotations, and they're kind of far away. And they travel the world. It wasn't always like that around here. Sometimes, but not all the time. They're more of the suburbs 30 years ago. When I went to school here and everything, started out in the business. I got such a headache right now. I got a sleepy eye there. Can you see it? I ask myself, what's my name? What's my name? I think Whitney Houston sent me an album, a personal album, because I ain't seen a picture of that age. I think she's still alive. They said she died, but I think she's still alive. I think I made out with Whitney Houston, but I'm not sure. I think she caused me to bust a nut when I had impudence. She broke me on my impudence. And she wrote a song while we were sitting there in bed. I got out of bed, sat in the chair next to the camera. You gave good love to me. Like just out of fucking clear blue with the camera rolling. Crazy as fuck thing. My hair's all messed up. It's because we were just rolling around there. And I got hit over the fucking head and my dick wouldn't get hard no more. And she started cussing me out. I said, what the fuck did you say? And I got up and I said, I'll show you. We're in the studio. Craziest fucking story in the world. Nobody ever believes me. Of course, that's the first time I've remembered it in years. Anyway. Kevin Costner didn't think it was true. They must have showed him the tape because we were on set for another Whitney Houston video, and he had to run down a pier and jump in the lake. And I was standing right there when he did it. He said, Mike, he's going to be you for a while. Then he made a couple movies. Dances with Wolves. I think that's about me. I'm from Philadelphia, right? They took me to Denver and made me a marshal without property. And then kept me sedated for a little while. And hanging out with guys my age that didn't know I was basically a state policeman. Like at 18, 19 years old, they didn't realize that, maybe they did, they didn't believe it or something. Like literally a state policeman. Like state patrolman here in Washington. 18 years old, hang out with guys telling me how fucking cool they are. Like talking about how much pussy they're getting and how they're sweet on one another and getting stoned and dropping LSD right in front of me. I just looking at them like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. Who the fuck? They told me to keep quiet. They said it's probably better if you don't say nothing to anybody for your own safety. I mean, you're only 17 years old. I was like, okay, I agree with you on that one. Anyway. I had a few girlfriends. A lot of people probably didn't know I had. Like my brother probably didn't know that one of my girlfriends, Fergie, and Pink, and the rock singers, and Fleetwood Mac. What's her name? Christy. The other one, the main singer. She's one of my girlfriends, and the girl from Meatloaf, the Oriental American girl. She's a girlfriend of mine too. I don't think my mom and dad and all them even knew that about me. Whitney Houston, Tony Braxton. They used to nurse me when I was working too hard. They keep me sedatives, and my job was basically being a punching bag. That was my job. I was like Mr. Personality. And then I'd be on location when everybody getting busted. And then sometimes it was like one of the co-workers or the guys in the neighborhood, because I'm from out of town, right? So I'd be talking to them. And then it would allude to, hey man, you going to jail. And he's like, yeah, you going to jail. And he'd be looking at me. And then somebody hit me. And I fall down. I see the guy get put in handcuffs. And I wake up a couple weeks later at my mom's house and sleep on the couch like, wait a second, where the fuck was I? And then it go on like later that year, they come get me for another spot. I was like, whoa, do the magical mystical tour, the whirlwind. Hey, get the punching bag. But I'm taking civil service exams, so I'm getting my promotions. And then people probably didn't even know that part. So government is, you really want to work for the government. I hope you know what you're getting into. They knew something, but you might don't know. They must have knew something. Probably didn't know all that. Tell stories like this all day. I think if I was lying, they probably would have killed me already. I was mistaken, right? Probably would have hit me over the head with something, right? Really think I've been over there recently today. Why did you do that to me? You made me mad. Why did you make me mad? I don't know. Anyway, probably should get out of here and get a little goofy. Mickey's. Mickey's playing. Hey, do I look like Rob Thomas? Matchbox 20? Excuse me. Do I look like a scientist? Yeah, what do I look like a scientist does? Amoebas? Electrons. Cyclones. Hey, can I go back up into outer space? I think I liked it up there. We can fix them. We have the technology. Or New Jersey gave up on that idea. We're still working on it. This is where the AWOL Fugitive Apprehension Unit is, right, for the United States Army, for the military. Isn't that who marshals work for when they're not assigned to a courthouse? How come they wanted me working for them up until about 1995 and then they broke it off? Something like that. They're hiding around here. In New Jersey, where you at? I hear around somewhere. I can smell you. No, I'm the one that only gets his ass once a month, once every 3 months. What do you think you're doing to me? It takes one to know one, like catching them guys. So you decide to make me resemble them. But I don't know what they act like. Not from an insider's point of view. Maybe we should switch and I should have become like you're supposed to be, deputy. You think that'll happen? I can understand why they do it. I don't think I'm a honky. Kind of like a little furry chimpanzee when I have bed. That's why I want to be. It's my bed chimp. Right? A little monkey. I look like the Joker from like Batman. Right? Go on, you can go. I went on the Coco in 1996. Does that make me an admiral of the fleet, the fishing fleet? If I already was an admiral in the big ship, kind of under the sedative treatment, then I came here on my own in '96, basically without somebody, a group of guys holding my hand, or like sort of a rigged training out where it's very real, but there's only a couple busts maybe for people getting out of line. If I come and get on the fishing fleet by myself, like knock on doors, like, yeah, I'm looking for a deckhand's job, and I get a deckhand job, but I don't have my property, my badge gun, and I don't tell them I'm a marshal. Does that make me admiral of the fishing fleet if they hire me? So I guess I did get the service an admiral when I wasn't on company dope. You think you're slick. Ask me how I know. I worked in an attorney at law firm. Some of you is. I can see why you don't want me to be the judge. How many of you it is, isn't it? I gotta get going. He died. Gotta find a doorway to sleep in. I go out in the woods. I'm working on. I guess the courthouse in Philly for where they are today. I'm not holding any hard feelings. Right? I could have wrung McNamara's neck right there in the fucking doorway. All his deputies sat the fuck down when I told him, "What the fuck is you coming up behind me so fast for, huh, deputy?" He said, "Chill out, man." I said, "Did you just say chill out, man, to a U.S. Marshal? You better go fucking sit down right now, Junior, because I'm talking to my brother, U.S. Marshal, the chief of the U.S. Courthouse in Philadelphia, the 39th Judicial District. And if you don't get the fuck away from me, I'm going to pick you up and body slam you right here in front of all your friends." And he said, "Oh," and he went and fucking sat down. McNamara started crying. "I'm the only one who ever did anything for you." I said, "You are? Oh, you my friend? Well, let's turn around and go back in the building. You can get my fucking gun out of the vault and give it to me so I can get the fuck out of here with my gun." He said, "I can't do that, man. You got to go. You're making too much noise around here." And I said, what do you mean?" He said, "I can't do it today, man. We're doing something else right now." That was how that fucking story went. That was a couple years last year. You know, the guy was up on stage with United States President George W. Bush. The marshal, he looks like Alec Baldwin from a fucking Archie's comic. He's got some gel in his hair and it's poofed off to the fucking side. That's the guy I was talking to. He told me, "I can't do it right now. I'm the only one who ever done anything for you." Or this, that, and the other thing. He's a nice guy, though. We talk. He's like, "Yeah, okay, so you're a U.S. Marshal." He's like, "Well, you know, something going on right now, which is I was like, whatever. I probably shouldn't be telling people, but it was right in front of 200 witnesses. I mean, what the fuck difference does it make? You got cameras all over the fucking courthouse. Oh well, then. The bald-headed white kid, they did the FBI director. Them two together. Oh no, he might not have been. No, he might not. No, he was. It was another Italian guy. Looked like Marco Polo. Got the black silk spread suit.